All right, welcome back. Today, we're jumping right into some of the most important developments happening in AI right now. We're talking about everything from tools that literally run themselves to huge economic shifts and the incredible way the community is stepping up to shape it all. Let's dive in. So, let's kick things off with this quote, because it perfectly captures our first big story. What on earth does it mean for an AI to be a daemon? Well, think of it like a ghost in the machine, something that works in the background all by itself, without you even needing to be there. And you know what? That's not science fiction anymore.
And that perfectly sets up our first topic, AI on autopilot. We're going to look at a brand new feature from Anthropic for its coding AI, Claude, and frankly, it is a total game changer for anyone who writes code.
So what exactly are these routines? Put simply, they're tasks that you can set and just forget. You tell Claude what you want it to do one time, and it'll just keep running that task for you. From Anthropic's own cloud, completely on its own. Your computer doesn't even have to be on.
And here's what makes it so powerful. You have three main ways to kick these things off. You can set them on a simple schedule, like every hour or once a week. You can have them automatically wake up when something happens on GitHub, like a new piece of code gets submitted, or you can trigger them from pretty much any other app out there with an API call.
So, what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, imagine an AI that automatically checks every new piece of code your team writes, or one that runs a full security audit every single night while you're sleeping. Or, and this is the really wild part, an AI that notices when your system has an error, figures out the cause, and then drafts a fix for you, all before you've even had your morning coffee. Now, a feature like routines isn't just some cool new toy. It's a huge signal of a much bigger economic shift. So let's zoom out and take a look at the new AI economy, because we're moving way beyond neat features and into some pretty fierce global competition. Okay, take a look at these numbers. At first glance, it looks like total American dominance, right? The US has poured over $285 billion into private AI, compared to China's $12.4 billion. But here is the absolute stunner from the latest Stanford AI index. With only about 4% of that investment, China has basically achieved near parity in AI performance. In fact, that massive investment lead now translates to a tiny, razor-thin 2.7% advantage on key benchmarks. The global AI race is officially neck and neck, and that intense pressure is changing absolutely everything, including how software itself is bought and sold. And this is the critical point. The old way of doing things, software as a service, or SaaS, is in real trouble. That model was built on selling licenses to human users, one seat at a time. But as the CEO of Box recently warned, we're now entering the era of headless SaaS, where the main user isn't even a person anymore. It's an AI agent. And that means companies have to completely rethink their business model. Of course, all this ruthless competition and crazy technological change, it isn't happening in a vacuum. It is transforming our world at a speed that is just stunning. And that transformation comes with a very real, very human cost.
I mean, just stop and think about this number for a second. 53%. It took the personal computer 16 years to get to that level of adoption. Generative AI did it in just 3. We have never, ever seen a technology get adopted this quickly by this many people. Ever.
And you can really see this playing out in education. A staggering 80%, that's 4 out of every 5 university students, are now using these tools. It's not some niche thing anymore, it's pretty much universal. And as you can imagine, this is creating some massive strain on the system. And if you want to understand that strain, you just need to look at what professors themselves are saying. On a single day in their online community, these were the top posts. They describe a system that feels like it's at a breaking point, a collapse in basic skills, an academic integrity crisis that is so bad it's causing teachers to completely burn out and even quit their jobs. But that's not the whole story. It's not all doom and gloom. While our big institutions are struggling to keep up, there's another incredibly powerful force at play. The global community of developers is fighting back, not against AI itself, but to make it better, fixing its flaws and shaping its future from the ground up. And here is a perfect example. Claude Code, one of the best coding AIs out there, was starting to get on people's nerves. It had these predictable bad habits that were really frustrating. So, did the community just complain? Nope. They built the fix, and they did it unbelievably fast.
And the fix itself, which came from observations by the legendary AI researcher Andrej Karpathy, is just 4 simple rules. It's basically telling the AI, hey, think before you act. Keep it simple. Don't touch code I didn't ask you to touch. And know what the goal is. It's just a plain text file you drop in your project. That's it. and the developer community went absolutely wild for it. This simple little fix became the fastest-growing project on all of GitHub, getting over 9,000 stars, which are basically upvotes, in a single day. It's just a stunning example of how fast the community can move to improve even the most advanced AI tools out there.
So, after all that, where does this leave us? What happens when you put all these different pieces together? Well, it really seems like we've got two powerful competing forces shaping our AI future right now.
On one hand, you've got this incredible corporate acceleration. The biggest companies in the world are in an all-out race to turn AI into a powerful, automated economic engine, one that can run on its own at a global scale. This is the world of AI on autopilot.
And on the other hand, you have the response from the rest of us. That exact same acceleration is putting so much pressure on our core institutions, like our schools. But at the very same time, you have this amazing global community that's stepping in to fix, shape, and steer these new tools in real time.
So you've got these two massive forces, corporate acceleration and community response, pushing and pulling on our future, which leaves us with one really important question to think about. AI is accelerating faster than anything we've ever seen before. Are we, our institutions, our communities, and each of us as individuals keeping up?